The Johannesburg Philharmonic Orchestra wraps up its early spring season under the baton of the popular director Daniel Boyko, featuring internationally renowned violinist Suzanne Howe. The evening of crowd-pleasing blockbusters includes Liszt's Hungarian Rhapsody, Wieniawski's Violin Concerto, and Tchaikovsky's Symphony No. 7. It's all happening on Thursday, the 28th of August at 7:30 p.m. at the Linda Auditorium. Book your tickets at Quicket.
Think about 6 years ago, when Amapiano was just a musical instrument, when streaming meant watching water flow, not videos online, and remote work was only said when your remote batteries died. So it makes you wonder, what will the next 6 years bring? Hino trucks now come standard with a 6-year drivetrain warranty, covering everything from pistons to gears. So although a lot can change in 6 years, our warranty promise won't. T's and C's apply. Hino, all the way.
Elevate your flying experience with Lift Premium. Enjoy even more space, comfort, and convenience with priority boarding, extra baggage allowance, and complimentary lounge access. Visit lift.co.za today.
They opened their doors before sunrise, stayed up late, showed up. Now they've made it to the finals of Gauteng's greatest awards with 702 and Yoko because of you. But they're not done yet. Your vote that could make them Gauteng's greatest. Go to primemediaplus.com now to cast it. Because support isn't just spoken, it's action. And your vote is a standing ovation for the Corner Cafe with the big dreams. The local legend who never gave up. The startup that's changing the game. Gauteng's greatest award with 702. Powered by Yoko. Let Yoko Counter fuel your business to greatness. Go to yoko.com to explore the new point of sale solution, saving hundreds of businesses time and money.
702.
The Big Interview
With Bongani Bingwa.
19 after 7, on to this now. So a new poll, and I'm going to be upfront and say it was commissioned by the Democratic Alliance, is turning heads. It's getting some attention because it's suggesting that the ANC's support has slipped below 30% nationally, and the DA has gone up to around 28%. It suggests an MK is at 11%. But even more interestingly, we're keeping an eye on the metros ahead of next year's local government elections. And this poll is suggesting that in Johannesburg, in Tshwane, Ekurhuleni, and even eThekwini, the DA is ahead, with the ANC's support a little weaker. No prizes for guessing where Cape Town remains. And we just thought, let's get some smart heads to look into this, certainly smarter heads than mine. Davi Skoltz understands polls more than most, and he joins us first, of course, as an election analyst, but we've also invited Professor Siphamandla Zondi from the Institute for Pan-Africa Thought and Conversation to help us give this some meaning. Davi, I'll start with you. A lot of us were not suspicious or cynical, but we certainly weren't easily convinced ahead of the general election last year when the polls were telling us that electoral outcomes had shifted in South Africa. We were wrong, they were right.
Yeah, exactly. Look, I think the polling outcomes in last year's election were quite accurate, right, and quite credible. We should discuss this poll specifically a little bit. You know, the DA does very good polling over time. Certainly, their internal data is excellent. They like to release polling when it looks particularly good for them, right? But that I don't think that means that these numbers are totally cooked or wildly off the mark, to be perfectly honest. At least from a directional perspective. You know, if I may, I think there are two facts that I'd like to share. The one fact is, if you look at every local government election that we've had in democracy in South Africa, the ANC has always underperformed every single time the number that it got in the preceding national government election. And so I would be willing to bet quite a lot that the ANC is going to get under 40% in this election. Of course, saying under 30% is a totally different animal. But at the same time, the directional sense that the ANC will be even further below 40%, I think is very, very highly likely given our historic patterns. That was just one thing to say.
That's what this
And
poll.
the second, yeah.
Go ahead. The second thing?
Yeah, that's it. No, and I guess the second thing to say is that the local government election this time around is going to be, I think, particularly interesting for two reasons, or for kind of has special complexities. The one thing is just that voter participation has become incredibly low, particularly amongst traditional ANC voters. And if that pattern continues, then numbers like the ones that were shared by the DA actually become potentially viable. And of course, then we've also just seen that concentrated particularly extensively in the Gauteng metros, right? Which is I think where the most interesting numbers came from for this poll. I just want to share those two things.
Yes, I was particularly curious about the idea that this poll suggests that all but for Nelson Mandela Bay and Mangaung, those would be the metros that the ANC might still keep, but that the others, they would lose significant support. What was your reading of that?
I think it tracks for me, to be honest. I mean, the ANC was at 40% in last election, right? In all of those metros, except Buffalo City, actually, they were close to 50 or significantly under 50, right? I mean, they were hitting, 30% in places like Tshwane and Johannesburg and so on. I would expect them to do a couple of points below whatever they got in the last national government election. So I'm not surprised at all, to be honest, by an ANC number in the even high 20s or low 30s or mid 30s. I mean, one thing that I obviously look at very closely is by-elections, right? And we can talk about it in detail, but I'll just give the high-level summary, which is if you look at all of the by-elections in the last year or so since the last election, they typically track with the ANC underperforming by 6 or 7% under the national government election, which would imply something like 33, 34, 32 nationally, right? This poll has an even more radical number. But the direction of travel is not massively surprising to me, and particularly not in the metros.
So even as the ANC slips somewhat, I mean, the DA from this poll would suggest that it is on the up, but there isn't a single standout party that's gaining a massive bump as a result of these shifts. And that suggests perhaps still some opportunities for all the parties.
Absolutely. And I think we're seeing like a fragmentation of the ANC base, right? I mean, we had this political party that had at one point almost 70% of the vote, and it is systematically eroding its support over time, right? And the support is going into many different directions. Obviously, in the last election, primarily in the direction of MK, very little bit towards Action SA. The EFF had historically taken a significant chunk. And the big question is, where will those voters go, right? Voters who are frustrated with the ANC, maybe they won't turn out. Maybe if they do turn out, they will still vote ANC. Maybe they will vote for one of these other parties. And I think the answer is, in different parts of the country, for different groups of people, a little bit different, right? And this is just one final point. This is the biggest question mark for next election for me is, the DA has historically not massively benefited from ANC voters moving away from the ANC. They've typically gone to EFF, MK, etc. And one of the huge questions is whether the DA's stint in national government, where it's getting a lot of media coverage, it's delivering certain things in certain ministries, whether that is going to translate into increased potential for the DA with former ANC voters. That is, I think, the single biggest variable, because we've discussed a lot about the ANC number in this poll, right? Which feels, directionally not completely off the charts for me, like less than 40, right? And probably in the direction of 30%. But the DA number is also really dramatic, right? 28% nationally would be historic. That would be like a massive earthquake, like a huge surge for the DA. Of course, it is a DA poll, so we can discuss that at length. But it implies that some of these ANC voters that are going away from the ANC are for the first time moving towards the DA, right, in relative numbers, which would be quite an important development if that were indeed to be the case. I'll say one final thing is, because we should not forget that the DA also has some problems of its own under the hood, right? Particularly with the Patriotic Alliance and coloured voters in places like the Western Cape and the Eastern Cape. And so for them to overcome that to get to 28 means that they're under the hood must be a huge number of ANC voters, at least in this poll, if we assume for a moment that it's correct, moving from the ANC to the DA. And it'll be very interesting to see if that actually happens.
David Scholes, appreciate your time as always. Listening to that is Professor Spamandla Zondi, who is a director at the Institute for Pan-Africa Thought and Conversation. Prof, perhaps a broad response to everything you have heard from Davi Scholes and obviously your own response to reading the poll.
Yes, yeah, no. The first point to make is that the polls have been generally accurate in the past 3-4 years. Anticipated the outcomes of last year. They anticipated the outcomes of 2021 local government election, and the polls we are going to see at this point in time will anticipate. But a lot of it is not even rocket science. The trends already tell us what the polls only just confirm. What would be a difference is the extent to which they anticipate. Some of the polls, especially those generated by the DA, they exaggerate the DA performance and they are accurate about the ANC's underperformance. And that's the trend we continue to see now. The ANC decline is known. It's happening. But the DA rise is exaggerated repeatedly, even in last year's election. Talk about 30 and stuff, but actually the DA it continues to decline below 2014 results, which were almost 23%. The DA is locked in that lower 20 results in terms of the trends, but the polls do move up to 32% and stuff. I guess it's to give it hope. And it's to give it. I doubt even at this point, with the DA pressed by the Freedom Front on the right, and really strongly by the Patriotic Alliance and the Action SA and others, that it will be able to get out of that low 20s thing. But also, there has to be such dramatic performance on the side of the DA for it to gain so much. And the performance out of government is a very risky one, because it also means, as you take credit for whatever little you can make out of the GNU, you also take the fall for people's general low energy for the GNU. So you take on both. And so we should take the polls trends seriously, but the exaggeration, the actual numbers, we must have to take them with a pinch of salt.
One final question, Prof. I know that we can point at a lot of shortcomings, having lived with the reality of a Cyril Ramaphosa presidency, but much of the bump in the last couple of election cycles I would attribute to the fact that he was the president of the ANC, his weaknesses and challenges notwithstanding. How does this party move forward to a period in which he will no longer be at the helm, and how will that sit with voters?
We really fully do not know. And there was hope that with his coming, given his pedigree and his standing, he will turn things around for the ANC. But instead, it has actually continued to slide even bigger than in the past. It seems that the ANC has to look beyond an individual and look at more systemic situation they need to do. You need to fix leadership at the guard. You need to fix performance in government. It needs to take its messaging seriously. It has to show that it really wants to deal with corruption, and it wants to distance itself from misdemeanors and all of those kinds of things. It has to act more boldly. It has to act more daringly if it wants to regain its support base. Otherwise, we will see the slide going further down. And this poll is to be taken seriously, because the ANC has not done anything significant to signal to the voters that it heard their cries, it received their signal. And that's a pretty damning one for the current president and leadership. Yeah.
Professor Spamandla Zondi, appreciate your time. Director at the Institute for Pan-Africa Thought and Conversation.
Thanks, Davi.
You guys. Bye.
This Eyewitness News traffic is brought to you by Outsurance in partnership with 702. Amo?
Well, there's bumper-to-bumper traffic, Bongani, along the R21 South. This is between Olifantsfontein Road and the R23, and that's due to 2 cars that are stuck on the road. Please be on the lookout there. And there's also queuing traffic along the N12 as well as the R24 West between Edenville Road and the Kilulis Interchange due to an accident. More details coming up shortly.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Outsurance made it possible for us to travel more with the money that we save. 725. This is really real.
You are the biggest saver we've ever had.
2,794 Rand a month. It was the easiest switch ever. Get real.
How is it that Outsurance provided the solution for you?
918 Rand is what I'm saving.
Incredible.
Go to outsurance.co.za now for a 10-minute quote that could save you thousands.
Just phone Outsurance, get a quote and see what they can offer you. If you don't save that 321 like I did, you might say get a 500 or $1,000 back. Service and savings, you'll always get something out.
So what was the real deal they could offer you?
870.
That's amazing. What brought you and Outsurance together?
718 Rand. I end up saving.
They gave you the real deal.
It literally is the real deal.
Go to outsurance.co.za now for a 10-minute quote that could save you thousands. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
EWN Business.
Now, Kharipe, there's gold in the ground. Gold fields taking advantage of the gold price.
Yeah, the precious metal miner says headline earnings went up to $1 billion for the 6 months of the year, or more than 17 billion rand. Goldfield says it was able to triple its half-year profit as the spot price of gold and its production numbers improved. The earnings have gone up from the 320 million rand reported last year. Profits increased as the spot price of gold hit record levels, rising 40% during the reporting period, while on the production side it saw numbers go up to 1.1 million tons in the first 6 months of the year.
Jerome Powell signaling possible cuts.
Yeah, U.S. Fed Chair Jerome Powell has signaled monetary policy shifts in the U.S. during his high-profile Jackson Hole speech on Friday. The annual Jackson Hole Symposium in Wyoming is one of the most closely tracked events for global markets. It ended on a positive note that could shape trading in the next few weeks. Powell acknowledged a shifting balance of risks in the U.S., including signs of stress in the labor market, and hinted at possible policy adjustments in the coming months. While he cautioned that inflation risks remain, his tone raised expectations of a rate cut come September. Of course, he's been under pressure from the White House and President Donald Trump to cut those interest rates in the U.S., and it seems he has decided this time around it is time to shave interest rates.
We're doing it. Where's the rand?
17 Rand 46 against the US dollar, slightly weaker this morning. 20 Rand 43 cents against the euro, and 23 Rand 59 cents against the British pound. A price of gold at $3,365 an ounce, or platinum is at $1,353. Brent crude at $67.78 a barrel. More business after 8.
Straight to the news desk. Good morning again, Sfiso Zulu.
Thanks, Wani. Good morning. Global job recruiters are back in the spotlight after a social media post raised suspicion about potentially bogus scholarships and job advertisements. Calls for investigations follow a fresh recruitment drive using South African influencers to draw young women to jobs in foreign countries. A popular influencer with a major social media following is among those facing backlash for punting a jobs program in Russia amid concerns it may have links to human trafficking. Nogukayam Dambo reports.
Former MP Phumzile van Dam sounded the alarm after videos of influencers were circulated on social media promoting the START program in Russia, including this now deleted post.
I am in Russia, the Republic of Tatarstan. This is where the START program takes place. Apparently girls are treated fairly here. Africans, Asians, Latin Americans, they're given housing, jobs, and on top of that, they are taught how to speak Russian. So this is a fresh new start, basically.
A Bloomberg report has since tied a similar campaign to a dubious recruitment drive that allegedly puts migrant workers in factories where military drones are manufactured. Head of Public Diplomacy at the Department of International Relations and Cooperation, Clayson Munyela, says the claims are under investigation, warning young people not to fall for unverified foreign job offers. Nogukanya Mdambo, Eyewitness News.
Police are being urged to intensify their efforts in arresting all suspects linked to the murder of Eastern Cape prosecutor Tracy Brown. Brown was shot outside her home last month in Gqeberha in full view of her child and partner. One person suspected to be part of the group of gunmen was arrested on Friday. The South African Union Council of Independent Churches says more needs to be done to book others responsible for Brown's murder. The council spokesperson Lisiba Khwele.
The breakthrough in the investigation gives us hope that contract killings that seek to undermine the functionality of the criminal justice system are being pursued relentlessly. No effort must be spared until all 4 suspects responsible for the ghastly and gruesome assassination are behind bars.
And some economists have called for policy changes in order to protect African workers from being casualties of ongoing global trade wars. This follows repeated warnings that tariffs from the US will negatively impact employment security for African women especially. While negotiations are still ongoing for a deal to lower the tariffs, South African goods have been slapped with a 30% duty, with the agriculture and manufacturing sectors expected to be the hardest hit. Job losses in these sectors are also set to impact women employed as seasonal or temporary workers the most. Stellenbosch University economist Ntabiseng Moleko says support for exporters will be needed to help diversify to other markets.
We've got to look seriously as Africans at our processing capability, our manufacturing capability, our ability to ensure that we are competitive, but also we actually start to look at the African Continental Trade Agreement more deliberately and strategically.
A fine day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures are at lows of 3 and 12 degrees, peaking at highs between 29 and 31.
And in the traffic, we've got heavy delays on the R21 South between Olifantsfontein Road and the R23, and that's due to, at this particular moment, an accident that's just been reported there. And we've got another accident seen in Alexandra along the N3 North. It happened just near Marlborough Drive, causing delays.
The top story this hour: global job recruiters are back in the spotlight after a social media post raised suspicion about potentially bogus scholarships and job advertisements.
Show up for the finalist who showed up for you. Gauteng's greatest awards with 702 and Yoko. Vote for your favorite local business now on primediaplus.com.
Celebrate the arrival of spring with jazz from all corners at Narok Sculpture Park in the Cradle of Humankind on 7 September. It features Kujenga, Tandintuli, Lindas Kakane, Sia Makuzeni. Narox invites you to indulge in nature and art, exploring exhibitions on the rolling lawns and meandering waterways. A perfect occasion for family and friends with curated culinary pleasures and refined bar offerings. Limited tickets are available from naroxarts.com. Narox is a private, not-for-profit foundation to benefit the arts. All income is used to maintain the grounds, the artist residency program, and artist support.
Hi. I need balloons.
Sure.
Now, my dog barked. Pretty sure he said potty.
Okay.
He was like...
At the Crazy Store, you'll find every excuse to celebrate.
Hi, me again. My houseplant survived another week. Where's your confetti?
And everything you need. Helium, gift wrap, dress up. And more. The Crazy Store. Hey, you never know what you might find. To have a good party.
Business Outsurance are experts in business insurance for general practitioners, dentists, surgeons, and other medical specialists. Kuveni.
It's so nice to know the business risk is taken care of by Business Outsurance. The call center was just a dream to deal with. Very seamless, easy experience, and it just feels like the people we're talking to on the other line understand our needs.
Switch to Business Outsurance and you could get a massive 20% discount on your business insurance premium. Visit outsurance.co.za. Switch and save today. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
Want to save on your next local holiday? Lekker offers amazing deals on local accommodation all year round. From self-catering getaways to luxury stays and everything in between, Lekker has something for every budget. Don't miss out on Lekker amazing year-round accommodation offers all over South Africa. Download the Lekker app today and discover how easy it is to book an affordable holiday. Lekker Always save on the best local stays.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Bongani, whichever way you take it, I think there comes a time where Democratic Alliance must be appreciated for its perpetual campaigning mode that they always, and these polls that have just came out now, Bongani, they're nothing more than demoralizing to all the other parties. Now, with that said, I think that these things do work at the end of the day. That is why they make themselves so available to the media, because it changes the perception, and perception is a currency in politics. So kudos to them, but also they must try to work with Action SA because they don't have allies, Bongani.
Oh, just the one, Kustaz. He didn't say it was Kustaz, but I'm pretty sure that was Kustaz in Midrand. Some insightful comments there. Absolutely, perception is currency in politics. If people believe something can be possible, then they kind of go that way. Part of the reason people will not vote for a party is believing that nobody else will. So you don't want to waste your vote, as it were. But if that perception starts to grow, that actually, hang on, many other people are going to take a risk on party X, then it makes that momentum pick up and people start voting for that party in perhaps ways they might not have done before.
Good morning, Bongani. My heart absolutely aches for these cancer patients. The only thing that will change our healthcare system and our education or our schooling system will be when the people in government, people that are sitting in parliament, every single one of them uses a public school and a public hospital. Then we'll see change. Until then, unfortunately, we'll have too many of these stories.
Yeah. I played earlier a clip of a conversation we had with Tato Moncho about a year ago. She was one of the 3,000 cancer patients who were not given treatment at the Charlotte Maxeke Hospital. Remember, she was diagnosed in 2020 and she started chemo quite soon after. So initially the process worked really, really well. She started chemo soon after her diagnosis and she finished her 9 cycles early in 2021. And then problems began because she couldn't then go for radiation, which would have absolutely pummeled the cancer and got rid of any remaining cells. But instead, what happened? The cancer came back, and all the chemo that she had gone through was nothing more than a waste of time. And when she was on our show, she was pleading with the president. She said, I'm no longer even speaking to the health minister. I'm pleading with the president to come and offer us some relief, to offer us some assistance. As I say, earlier this year, there was a court ruling that said that Gauteng Health has to deal with these patients. That was a court ruling in March this year, and it found that the failure to provide cancer treatment from Gauteng Health was unlawful and unconstitutional. Of course, Gauteng Health went ahead and appealed that, and as they were appealing it, they said, well, that court order shouldn't be implementable because we're now taking this matter on appeal. And the judge was scathing because they lost that appeal. And the judge said, how could you be using technical arguments when people are dying? But exactly as this voice note suggests, if they or their children were the ones using these facilities on that waiting list, you betcha it would have been sorted by now.
702.
What's the question?
What's the question is brought to you by Outsurance. It's your chance to win up to 3,000 Rand in cash. First, 1,000 Rand for the answer, and then later, 2,000 Rand if you can give us the question. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance. Today's answer comes from Bernard, who is in Cosmo City. Bernard, what's today's answer?
Hello, Bongani. How are you?
I'm fine, Bernard. I'm fine. Give us today's answer, please.
Yes, answer is 1998.
Answer is 1998. And Bernard, tell me, have you got yourself a quote from Outsurance?
Yes.
Your biscuit, 1,000 Rand is coming your way. All thanks to 702 and Outsurance. There you have it. Bernard's answer is 1998. What's the question? Call us if you know on 011 883 0702.
EWN Sport.
This EWN Sport is brought to you by R&B Corporate Banking. Ready, set, cash flow. A very, very welcome return to Cindy Paluta.
Thank you, Bongani.
And can I tell you, Cindy, I was so excited about your return that I went and found a sports-related clip that I thought you might appreciate.
Go for it.
And I'm looking at your bulletin.
Yeah, boy.
And I don't think it's one of the stories you have covered, so I'm not stepping on your toes. Right? It's all to do with the US Open. Guess who was inducted into the Tennis Hall of Fame this past weekend?
Tell me.
Maria Sharapova.
Oh,
And
that's
guess who spoke? Guess who spoke to introduce her at the International Tennis Hall of Fame induction ceremony this past weekend? Have a listen.
I know I'm probably the last person you would be expecting to see here tonight, but honestly, a few years ago, I probably would have said the same thing. But here's how it happened. A few months ago, Maria texted me that she needed to talk. And so I thought, what's going in? What's going down? Like, where do I need to jump in? What do I need to do, right? But when I called her, she asked me if I would introduce her into the Hall of Fame. And before she even finished her question, I said yes, loud, immediately, with my whole chest, because, of course, it's Maria.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Unlikely friendships like that.
That is, because I don't think many people expected it, because Sharapova had a bit of a controversial moment in her career, right? Didn't she test positive for performance
we're calling her Sharadopa in those days.
Yes. So, and a lot of people said that her career was based on her good looks and not necessarily her form, but clearly her form, if she's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think she was a good player. I think that people were always comparing her to Anna Kournikova. And I think you probably could make that argument about
definitely for
Anna Kournikova, but because they were Russian, both beautiful, blah, 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 blah. But I thought it was such a nice touch for Serena to do it. All right, now you do your bulletin.
Right, Springbok sides travel to face the All Blacks will be announced today with their first game next week. News overnight that Prop Asenati and Tlabakanya tested positive for a prohibited non-performance enhancing substance and won't travel. He's denied that he committed the violation, claiming the substance was in medication prescribed to him earlier this year. The Springbok women ran in 10 tries, thrashing Brazil 66-6 in their opening game of the Rugby World Cup. They next play Italy on Sunday. Coach Swayze de Bruin.
It's early days. Italy will be total different opponents. There was nice variation in our play between forwards and backs. We knew when to attack what space at the right time. But I'm still worried the first half about the breakdown. We lacked in numbers there. Everyone wanted to be the hero. So second half it was much better.
Proteas men leave Australia with an ODI series win despite being thrashed by a massive 276 runs in the third ODI yesterday. Proteas next take on England in an ODI and T20 series starting next Tuesday. Same old for Manchester United, drawing 1-1 with Fulham, including a missed penalty from Bruno Fernandes. Boss Ruben Imorim.
We struggle in the end. We start really well. We had our opportunities. We missed the penalty. Scored a goal, and I think that was the moment that we were not the better team. When we scored the goal, we tried to think about the result, and we need to continue to think about the performance, not the result, and try to hold on. The advantage was a bad thing to do.
Everton at their new stadium beat Brighton 2-0. Palace and Nottingham Forest drew 1-1 tonight. A big one. Liverpool are away at Newcastle. Tennis's last Grand Slam of the year, the US Open, opened with no major upsets. Top names like Shelton, Sabalenka, Djokovic, Paulini, Fritz and Navarro all through. The highest seeds out, the men's 13th seed Medvedev and the women's 14th seed Toson. And in golf, Tommy Fleetwood winning the PGA Tour Championship by 3 shots, finishing on 18 under, 3 ahead of Cantlay and Henley. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
Feeling some lag in Sector 3?
Copy. Optimizing working capital. Ready. You're approaching a tight corner. Cash flow pressure ahead.
Low on liquidity. Supply pressure is building. Set.
Deploying cash injection in 3, 2, 1. Flow.
Nice move. Better supply chain control.
Lab time advantage. Faster cash cycles, leaner inventory, and optimized working capital.
Ready, set, cash flow. Corporate banking from RMB. RMB, a division of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorized FSP and credit provider.
Life has its own rhythm, but muscle and joint pain may upset the beat.
Norflex Gel.
Trust Norflex Gel's triple action formula to target muscle pain, reduce inflammation, and help numb the affected area.
Norflex Gel.
So, get your beat back and reclaim the rhythm of life.
Norflex Gel.
Beat the pain with Norflex Gel and higher strength Norflex Gel Fort. For more information, speak to your healthcare professional.
Meet the new Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7, re-engineered to be our thinnest and lightest foldable yet. Move with confidence, powered by an ultra-sleek, ultra-slim design that adapts wherever life takes you. Open your world to expansive screens, seamlessly crafted for work and play. It's innovation that fits your pocket. Upgrade to the new Galaxy Z Fold 7 and get double the storage on us. Hurry, offer ends 31 August. T's and C's apply.
Medical aid plans, they're normally like this.
So, you'll need to take this form and this. Don't forget this too. Okay, wait. Don't forget this one. Wait. Okay, done. My back! Sorry, sir. That's gonna have to come out of your savings.
At Bonitas, we make our plans simple, so they're easy to understand. We also offer a benefit booster and a range of other benefits that don't come off your savings. Visit bonitas.co.za when you need us. Bonitas, medical aid for South Africa. T's and C's apply.
The Festival of Motoring, powered by Westbank, brings the spirit of Ubuntu to the Kyalami Grand Prix circuit from the 29th to the 31st of August. Experience thrilling track drives, 4x4 adventures, drifting, supercar hot laps, and F1 demos. Get your tickets on Howler and use the promo code RADIO for a special discount. The Festival of Motoring, the power of new.
EWN Traffic.
This EWN Traffic is brought to you by the new Opel Grandland. With smart tech and striking design, it's German engineering on a grand scale. Test drive one today at your nearest Opel dealer. There's a crash on the R21 South, Amo?
That's correct, Bongani. It's right between Olifantsfontein Road and Pomona Road. It's causing heavy traffic volumes. About a 20-minute hold up there as a result. Please be on the lookout and try to avoid. If you're heading towards areas like Sandton, maybe try using the N1 South instead. If you're traveling on the N3 North, we've got an accident reported right near Marlborough Drive. It's causing heavy traffic volumes coming out of the Gelderhuys interchange. There's also queuing traffic in Eldorado Park on the N12 East. This is between Klipspruit Valley Road and the Golden Highway. I'll have more updates for you. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Don't ever settle for great. You know that great feeling after nailing a big presentation? Imagine upgrading that. I'm talking driving home with your car's massage seats, practically high-fiving your bum. Headlights so bright, you feel like the star your boss said you were. Arriving home, making an entrance, grander than your slide transitions. Go grand in the new Opel Grandland, designed and made in Germany. Visit opel.co.za for more.
Opel Grandland.
702.
What's the question?
For 2,000 Rand in cash, all thanks to Outsurance. Please tell me, what's the question? If the answer is 1998. Let's see who has it right. Let's try Daniel in Ruarport. Daniel, what's the question?
The question is, in what year did Lauryn Hill release her debut solo album, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill?
It has to be in your top 5. Please tell me, Daniel.
Yeah, it is, definitely.
I don't know what else might be there, but it's that album that should be on everybody's top 5 best albums of all time. Right?
Correct.
And for that reason, Daniel, you've won yourself 2,000 Rand in cash. All thanks to 702 and Outsurance. Do send me a WhatsApp voice note on 072 702 1702. Other than The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, what other album is in your top 5 best of all time? This has to be in it. If it's not on your top 5 list, I don't know if we can be friends. You're not coming for the bride. Hey, Amo? Top 5 best albums of all time.
Definitely this one is me.
What else?
Tops the list. Well, this. I'll have to think about the others.
Outsurance made it possible for us to travel more with the money that we save. 725. This is really real.
You are the biggest saver we've ever had.
2,794 Rand a month. It was the easiest switch ever. Get real.
How is it that Outsurance provided the solution for you?
918 Rand is what I'm saving.
Incredible! Go to outsurance.co.za now for a 10-minute quote that could save you thousands. License insurer and FSP, T's, C's, and information online.
Your workday calls for more performance, more doing the impossible, more challenge accepted. Your weekends demand more excitement, more detours, more limitless living. And the new GWM P300 LS is where it all comes together. Bring it on in the new P300 LS with a 2.4 turbo diesel and 12.3-inch touchscreen from only $5,999 per month. Visit gwm.co.za for T's and C's and to book a test drive. GWM, go with more. Brought to you by GWM Finance, a division of Westbank and authorized financial services and registered credit provider.
Dear Journal, day 3049 of trying to be an adult. I still haven't bought a recycling bin, so there's a mountain of cans in my kitchen that could collapse at any moment. Anyway, what's that saying about your home being a reflection of your mental state?
Got evicted from the family home? Get covered at pineapple.co.za. It's like 570 Rand a month, so it's 100% the insurance for you. Underwritten by Old Mutual Alternative Risk Transfer Insurer Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP. Premiums are risk profile dependent.
Betway is taking you to dizzying new heights in one of the world's most popular games, Aviator. Place your bets and watch the multiplier climb higher and higher. Pick the right time to cash out and stand to win millions on a single bet. It's all possible from the palm of your hand. Get way more only at Betway. Betway is licensed and regulated by the Western Cape Gambling and Racing Board. No persons under the age of 18 are permitted to gamble. South African Responsible Gambling Program toll-free counseling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Winners know when to stop.
702
702. What's gone viral?
with Kabazela.
Kabazela.
Good morning to you, Belle.
Are you watching? Are you watching?
Yeah, I mean, and if I'm watching you, would I be freaked out if your pupils dilate? And why I say that is some people can dilate and constrict their pupils voluntarily, which is quite crazy. I mean, so this video that's gone viral is this woman. She's at a house party, and one of her friends comes up close to her with the camera phone, and films her pupils, and her pupil just completely dilates and then constricts. And normally if you think about that, it could be maybe because of light, maybe you indulged in some of the white powder that we know drugs can do to pupils. But some people can do this, and it's just, they can do it, and it's quite a cool thing to watch. So I wanted to ask this morning, Bongles, have you got a body trick that you can do that people think, yo, what the heck? That's not new. That's not human. How do you do that? Just like this woman who can constrict and dilate her pupils. So maybe you have got such a long tongue that you can touch the tip of your nose, or your elbow, or twist your arm in certain ways. Maybe you can do it, or you know somebody who can do it. Love to hear those stories this morning, hey?
I sleep at 7 o'clock. That's my superhuman body trick.
How?
All right, that just got viral with Kabazela.
EWN Traffic.
Right, this EWN Traffic brought to you by Mpumalanga Tourism and Parks Agency. Mpumalanga, the place of the rising sun.
Well, Bongani, we've got delays on the N3 North between the Geldenhuys interchange and Marlborough Drive due to an accident seen right at the Marlborough off-ramp. Delays also in the southerly direction of this route as a result while traveling in Kempton Park, queuing traffic on the R21 South due to an accident near Pomona Road. Expect delays there. More updates.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Explore the wonders of Mpumalanga. Discover the ultimate wildlife experience. Get your adrenaline rush. Endless adventures. Breathtaking 4x4 routes. Unwind with spectacular landscapes and majestic waterfalls. This message is brought to you by the Mpumalanga Tourism and Parks Agency. Mpumalanga, the place of the rising sun. Visit mpumalanga.com for more.
702.
702.
Feedback.
With Rupfiwa Kone.
Rofiwa, do you have a body trick? Can you do all sorts of things? No?
I can make my eyes smaller, Bongani.
Oh, wow. Wow. Let's get into the serious feedback. Wow.
But on a sadder note, Bongani, feedback that did come through are the condolences that are coming through for Umam Nyandi Nyembe, who passed away sadly this weekend.
Yes, of course. And lots of reaction, no doubt, to the earlier interviews. Yeah?
Yes, of course, Bongani. Clayson Mangwela's interview really hit home with many South Africans, saying since the unemployment level has hit crisis level, it's no wonder many desperate people are often falling for these scams and are left vulnerable to exploitation, Bongani.
We're talking, of course, about these videos that are selling young people dreams, right? To go work in Russia, you'll earn lots of money. And in one case, they're offering hospitality jobs, and it looks like they might end up working in some weapons factory. And all that glitters isn't gold. That was the conversation we had with Clayson Munyela a little earlier on. It's time now for your latest Eyewitness News.
This is EWN.
Authorities are concerned about young South Africans taking unverified jobs overseas, and the SANDF chief is in hot water yet again. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. The International Relations Department says there's a worrying trend of South African influencers who are being paid to advertise job offers that could be linked to human trafficking in other countries. A recent social media post has raised suspicion about potential bogus scholarships and job advertisements. A popular influencer with a major social media following is among those facing backlash for punting a jobs program in Russia amid concerns it may have links to human trafficking. The department's Clayson Munyela says so-called recruiters are taking advantage of South Africa's unemployment crisis.
We've had a case of one young South African woman that reached out to our embassy in Moscow, realizing that what they were promised wasn't true. The challenge, though, is that when these young people fall for these scams, they don't, one, check with us. Two, they don't inform us. We only collide with the information when they discover that they're in trouble.
The SANDF has rubbished claims that Army Chief Rudzani Maphwanya continues to defy direct orders from Defence Minister Angie Motshekga to reinstate a wrongfully dismissed colonel. This follows the City Press report that Maphwanya refuses to reinstate Colonel Eugene Motati after the military ombud ruled he was dismissed over untested sexual harassment allegations in 2019. The publication is reporting that Maphwanya has drawn a line in the sand, adding no ministerial directive will sway him without a binding court order. SANDF spokesperson Prince Shabalala denies claims that the chief has defied any orders.
In the insinuation that the chief of SANDF is defying or giving the middle finger to the minister is baseless and irresponsible. General Maphwanya remains fully committed to the constitutional authority of the minister and is engaging the matter with the utmost respect and diligence.
Shabalala says the SANDF will not be drawn into discussing internal matters publicly, but says Maphwanya is still consulting with the minister on the matter.
In line with good governance and military protocol, the chief of SANDF is currently consulting with the Minister of Defence and Military Veterans and the Ombudsman on the matter.
Maphwanya's conduct has been under close scrutiny as he faces criticism for comments he made during an official visit to Iran, where he allegedly co-signed South Africa to stronger military ties with Tehran. The International Relations Department has distanced itself from his comments. Higher Education Minister Buti Manamela has directed 3 embattled seaters to publish a 90-day stabilization plan in the wake of another scandal. Administrators were appointed to the construction seater, services seater and local government seater last week, but the process has again been marred by claims of irregularities. The EFF has raised questions about the appointments of the administrators, even though there are ongoing board appointments at the country's 22 seaters. This is the second controversy since former Higher Education Minister Nobuhle Nkabane was booted from office for mishandling seater board appointments. Manamela has now called on the Public Service Administration to vet the newly appointed administrators. The minister's spokesperson, Matsepo Sidat.
Our priority is to stabilize governance in the seaters, protect public funds and strengthen confidence in the skills development system. By involving the Public Service Commission in this process, we are adding an extra layer of integrity to ensure the focus remains on delivering skills for South Africa's youth and workers. The Minister trusts that these additional steps will address public concerns, reinforce oversight, and ensure that seaters are able to deliver effectively on their critical mandate.
The Section 174 discharge application by some of the accused in the Senzo Meyiwa trial is set to be heard this morning in the High Court in Pretoria. Last month, the state wrapped up its case after 2 years of leading evidence, and it's now the defence's turn to make its case. 5 men are being tried for the 2014 murder of Meyiwa in Vosloorus on the East Rand in Johannesburg. Khomotso Modise has more.
When proceedings were halted earlier this month in the Senzo Meyiwa trial, it was only the fourth accused, Mthokoziseni Maphisa, who was certain that he'd be proceeding with the Section 174 discharge application. This is an application that's brought only if the defense believes there's no real evidence against the accused for conviction and thus no case to answer to. This morning, the court will hear arguments for Maphisa's discharge application, which the state plans to oppose. If any of the other accused also plan on making a discharge application, they too will make their arguments today. Khomotso Modise, Eyewitness News.
Gold is trading at $3,364.32 an ounce. The rand is at 17.46 to the dollar, 23.59 to the pound, 20.43 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $67.79 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the R21 South between Olifantsfontein Road and Pomona Road due to a major accident scene. There's also queuing traffic on the M1 North due to another accident reported right near Cordet Drive, causing delays.
And in your sport, no major upsets at the US Open. Tennis on day one, the highest seeds to tumble, Medvedev and Tucson. The Bach women opened the Rugby World Cup campaign with a 60-point win over Brazil. Newcastle are hosting Liverpool in the Premier League tonight as Man United remain winless. Tommy Fleetwood wins the Tour Championship by 3 shots.
A fine day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 29 and 31 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. The International Relations Department says there's a worrying trend of South African influencers who are being paid to advertise job offers that could be linked to human trafficking in other countries.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
Show up for the finalist who showed up for you. Gauteng's greatest awards with 702 and Yoko. Vote for your favorite local business now on primediaplus.com.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
On 702.
Let's walk the talk.
What strange things can you do with your body? You're one of those who can move your ears or flutter your ears or do something crazy with your eyes or your fingers or your limbs. We're talking about what's gone viral, one of Kabazela's viral videos. This woman can dilate and constrict her pupils. It's the most freakish thing to see. Do you have a skill like that, a party trick like that? Everyone always claps. Off air, Amoramila says she can split her toes or separate her toes, as in just stretch her foot wide, like you would your fingers.
And not many people can do that. Although you claim that you can. No, Bongani, not many people can do that, and that's my hidden talent.
So you've done this at a party. You took yourself.
She showed us. She showed us because I was curious, and I thought, what's this? And I didn't have the heart.
Were you not impressed? Bongs.
Yeah, because he can't do it.
Earlier in the show, we spoke to Clayson Manyela from Dirco, who is raising the alarm about influencers who are being paid to advertise job offers that could possibly be linked to human trafficking in other countries. Recent social media posts have been raising suspicions about a bogus scholarship and job advertisements. My attention, though, is focused on the SANDF. That is rubbish claims that the Army Chief Rudzani Maphanya is now in the crosshairs of the Defense Minister Angie Motshekga for refusing to reinstate a dismissed colonel. It follows a City Press report yesterday that Maphanya refuses to reinstate Colonel Eugene Mutate even after the military ombud he was dismissed over untested sexual harassment allegations in 2019. The publication reported that Maphanya has drawn the line in the sand, saying no ministerial directive will sway him without a binding court order. And it takes you back to the conversation with Songa Zozibi that we had on Friday about the disarray of our military and that particular department.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
10 after 8, we're taking your calls on 011 8830 702. All the issues we've raised on the show. New polling suggesting that the DA are going to get significantly better numbers than in almost any other election they've participated in before. Now, to be fair, this is their own polling, so of course they will release it if it paints them in a positive light. That notwithstanding, we know that a lot of these polls have tended to be more right than wrong quite often. How does that square up with you? Let us know.
Let's talk.
We're listening.
Hi, Bongs. Top 10 album, obviously, Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Then Ndawoyami by Zamajobe. Love it. Love those two albums. Yeah. Could add some Luther somewhere there as well. Exceptional music. Thank you for the great show. Nehing Boxberg.
Hi, Bongs and the team. For me, top 5, Miseducation, Who is Jill Scott, Dangerously in Love, Beyonce, Anita Baker. Am I missing one more? Any of the Adele. I have a female top 5 and a male top 5. I'll stick to the female. Have a good day. Thanks for a great show. Kathy in Santon.
Good morning, Bongs and the team. Now, for me, it has to be Dr. Dre, The Chronic 2000. Yeah, no, that's on my top 5. Danko, agree in Pretoria.
Agree. For a second, I thought you were Thabo Shola. Just that voice, right? Yeah? Not Thabo Shola Mashao. Kathy, your top list includes an Anita Baker album, but which one you see? Is it the Rapture album? Is it the Songstress? Which one is it? Giving you the best that I got? I mean, there's so many great Anita albums. Muteo, we're talking about that album that's in your top. I don't want to know the rest of your top 5 because that'll take us until Kingdom Come. But I've already decided for you that Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, which was released on this day in 1998, is in there.
It's a close. It's a close 5.
Is it 6?
It's 6.
It's out of the top 5.
It's 6.
Okay, now I want to know what is in that top 5.
It's probably my sister's best album, and that's how I got to love the album because she was, blaring it through the speakers.
You exclude Miseducation. I now want your top 5.
You want me
all
to,
of it.
You want me to raise you.
I want to see all these albums.
Sade, Lovers Rock.
Okay.
I like that album as a body of work.
Love Sade.
Yeah.
Lovers Rock. Not Smooth Operator.
That's the one I love. Jamiroquai, Funk Odyssey.
Okay.
2001. I think that was a really good album. Paul Henma, Trains to Taung.
Yeah.
I think one of the best jazz albums in the country. It's a close 5. Pro Kid, Heads and Tails, his first album. TKZ Halloween, another album that I thought was amazing. Kanye West, College Dropout.
Yeah, hard to argue with that list. Yeah.
But it doesn't. I think you still need to have Miseducation there. It still
It's 6.
needs-
I would take out. I would take out Lovers Rock of that list.
Mhm.
Lovers Rock, and replace it with Miseducation. But as he said, that's one I like.
Okay.
Amo?
Tracy Chapman.
Which Tracy Chapman?
Tracy Chapman.
The original one.
The original
okay.
one.
Yes. I
Then
see you.
Zabalaza, Thandiswa Mazwai.
I see you.
Then Paper Trial, T.I.
You've lost me.
And then Jay-Z, Blueprint.
Okay.
3. Those are 3, right? Then Miseducation 4. Then the 5th one has to go to Adele, 25.
Ooh, 21. We're going to go Adele 21. Look at me asking them for their top 5.
And wanting your own
and having
albums in there.
opinions.
Breakfast with Bongani
Morning,
Bingwa.
Bongani. I don't have any body tricks I can do, but strangely enough, my 6-year-old daughter can move her ears. I don't know how and where she learned this, but she always says to me, Daddy, come look. She moves her ears and she always says, come, you can do it, you can do it. And believe me, I can't.
And some of these things, that's the other thing. With young kids, they'll do these rubbery movements and they lose them. So I hope you're recording all of those just to be able to show her when she turns 18 or something, right?
You know what I didn't like? People who could flip their
no, the eyelids. Yeah, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Tell.
EWN Traffic.
People are eating breakfast show. Amo, what you got?
Well, we've got an accident on the M1. It's on the southerly direction, right near College Drive. It's causing delays towards Harton Drive. As a result, the M1 North is also affected by the scene. And then, of course, peak time delays on the N3 North between the Geldenes interchange and the Baku interchange. There's also queuing traffic along the R21 South. This is due to that earlier accident right near Pomona Road. Delays coming out of Olifantsfontein Road. Please be on the lookout there. More updates coming up.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Mr. Govender, congrats on the retirement. You just sold your car to We Buy Cars. Tell us about it.
Yes, it just gathered dust in the garage, so I exchanged it for cold hard cash. Now my wife and I can enjoy a stress-free retirement.
Retiring the car as you retire. Nice. So why We Buy Cars?
It was so quick. They came over to our house to do the evaluation, and we sold it the same day. Tops, man.
Okay, so now you got even more time on your hands, eh?
Exactly.
We Buy Cars. Geared for your next chapter, geared for you.
A sinkhole on the R21 near Olifantsfontein is being repaired, but this isn't just about restoring the road. Sunral's 154 million rand project is opening the door to new opportunities for the local community, from training and mentorship for SMMEs to jobs for unskilled labor and real experience for young engineers. This project is repairing more than a road, it's building futures. Work starts mid-September 2025. Sunral, building South Africa through better roads.
Sir, ma'am, may I take your order?
Yeah, let me get the New York cut, medium rare, truffle fries on the side, and the lady'll have the salmon. Grilled, not poached. 2 dirty martinis. Real dirty.
Leafy, what's with the voice?
Oh, I came over all Tony Soprano.
Get into character on a city break with Premier Hotels and Resorts. Stay Friday and Saturday and get Sunday night for free. Book now at premierhotels.co.za.
Payment solutions should run with your business wherever and whenever it happens. With PayFast by Network, you can accept payments online, in-store, or on the move with one simple, secure system. And when business picks up, our easy advance funding gives you flexibility to move even faster. Always open for every hour, for every order, for you. Sign up today at payfast.io. PayFast has partnered with TymeBank to offer funding to your business.
The Money Show.
Weekday evenings at 6.
On the next Money Show, internationally renowned pianist and composer Nduduzo Makatini joins us as our special guest on How I Make My Money Mondays. Chief executives of Advitech, Sasol and Airports Company SA will take you through their company's financial results. Also, analysis of all your other top business news of the day.
The Money Show
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
The Money Show, Stephen Curtis, is brought to you by APSA CIB, proud sponsor of the SARA Rail Conference 2025. Your story matters. APSA is a registered FSP.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
19 minutes after 8 o'clock, you know we haven't had a female governor of the Reserve Bank since Jill Marcus until now. Well, in a way, in a manner of speaking. I'm talking, of course, about the 2025 Monetary Policy Committee Schools Challenge. So this is where high schools got together and they wrote essays, they were crunching numbers, they were talking about interest rates, decisions, talking about the economy as if they were in charge of it. And the prize, of course, is for the winning team. You get to be the Reserve Bank governor for a day, and you and your teammates are part of the Monetary Policy Committee. And that prize, of course, went to the Midrand High School. And I'm so pleased to tell you, we've got teacher Sarah Kibuka, but also the Midrand High School Governor Bonolo Shilabia. Bonolo, Governor, Welcome to 702 Breakfast, and thank you for coming in.
Thank you, thank you.
So tell us about being the Reserve Bank governor for a day.
I think it's quite a nice experience, but it's also nerve-wracking to step into the governor's shoes. People are expecting a lot from you, actually. So you have the economy on your hands and you don't really know what to do.
Okay, tell me about the competition and what you thought you were entering and what you actually experienced.
I think the competition wasn't quite different from what I expected because I have a teacher who's very experienced, so she did prepare us accordingly. She would tell us that there's going to be a Q&A. She would give us the questions. She'd look at the statement and prepare questions accordingly. And I think also from the SARB side, they did prepare us because we did have workshops where they would give us questions, practice questions that we can use in preparation. So it wasn't quite a nerve-wracking experience, and also it was everything that I actually expected.
Teacher Sarah Kibuka, you are here as well. What was this experience and competition like for you from your perspective?
Can you rephrase the question again?
What was the competition like for you?
For me, learners have, for me, it is also a learning phase for me. I had to learn, I've been learning how to write the report. We've been participating in a competition for a number of years now, since actually the competition started. So to me, it was something that could bring economics live, what we learn in class, to be able to practice it in our real world.
In the real world, yeah, and
Yes.
preparing these youngsters for what it might actually be like. All right, so Bonolo, there you were, standing in front of the SARB economists. Was there any choice that you had to make that was interesting to defend?
Not really. Most questions that they asked, we had already prepared.
What did they ask you?
The one of them was according to the current conditions that are in the economy, would we change our decision? And also they did ask what are the activities in the primary, tertiary, secondary sector? What do we mean by the 10-year rand denomination bond? I think that's all I can recall for now.
Muteo, would you have been able to be a governor for a day in high school?
Not in high school. I know I was part of a JC challenge in high school, and that led me obviously into the career I'm in now. But I think the exciting thing when you're getting into such competitions is the realization of just how tough the job is, because you have an opinion when the governor's there saying interest rates are going up higher. I'm wondering if you had to make that decision, Bonolo, to say you would have changed interest rates to go up higher given the economy we're in right now.
Yes.
No.
Cut.
No, we left them unchanged.
You left them unchanged.
The rates unchanged.
You and your
yes.
monetary policy
Yes,
committee.
it
All
was
right.
a precautionary measure because we wanted to see where the economy was heading. There was too much uncertainty within the economy for us to make a hasty decision. Therefore, we looked at the US tariffs that were still going to be imposed. So we wanted to see how they would affect our economy. And also we looked at the key inflation drivers such as the high fuel prices, the high electricity tariffs that had increased by 12.4% in April, the volatile rand,
Spoken like a true governor. Congratulations. We thought when we heard about this competition, we really got excited and we thought we absolutely have to put you into the studio for 702 Landers just to listen to. What comes next for you? Because you're in grade what now?
I'm in grade 12.
You're in grade 12. What comes next for you?
I think having to work hard for my prelims and my finals so I can get very good results, because so far my team and I have secured bursaries. So the Reserve Bank did tell us that they're going to fund us until our masters. So
Say what, if they do, and if you guys hold the marks that I no
Yes.
doubt you already have, it will be an investment well made.
Yes.
Congratulations once again. Of course, the Midrand High School were the winners of this Monetary Policy Committee Schools Challenge. Bonolo Shilabie was the governor for the day.
702.
The Worldview.
All right, let's catch up with news from elsewhere in the world. And this morning, of course, Vicky Turner is in for Adam Gilchrist. And Vicky, good morning to you. Let's start with Ukraine marking Independence Day.
Yeah, their 34th Independence Day, although, of course, it was a little more muted than it has been in the past. The last 3 years or so have seen to that with the war against Russia. President Volodymyr Zelensky said Ukraine would continue to fight for its freedom while its calls for peace are not heard. Now, President Trump of the USA, of course, did send a message saying he hopes this senseless fighting ends soon. He also added, though, congratulations on your 34th year of independence. The Western world showing its support by flying flags at important buildings, Ukrainian flags around the world. And Mark Carney, the Prime Minister of Canada, actually joined President Zelensky in Kyiv, where most of the celebrations took place, standing shoulder to shoulder with him, literally and metaphorically, saying that that's exactly what Canada will continue to do so as long as this war rages. Of course, they are still fighting to keep that independence, and that fight continued when they were celebrating their freedom, both with Russian drones hitting Ukraine and Ukrainian strikes against Russia. So on this war goes, unfortunately.
Let's go to Vietnam now, where there's a massive typhoon. More than 500,000 people told to evacuate.
Well, we are hearing more and more, aren't we, of these weird weather phenomena. And this one is Typhoon Kijiki. And like you said, 586,000 people have been told that there is a fear for life. They've been told to move to safer areas of Vietnam. Apparently, not only are we going to see winds of 103 miles per hour, which obviously is enough to do damage, but storm surges as well, which seems to be something that's happening a lot more frequently now, where the sea swells, rises, and then causes a lot of problems on shore. They're expecting swells of between 6 and 13 feet. And this one's a bit of a breaking story because it's happening as we're speaking. So that damage, I'm sure we'll find out probably overnight exactly what has happened in Vietnam.
Goodness, it's quite a scary one. Now tell me, Vicky, about the best shared boozer in Britain.
This seems to be the ultimate man cave, a man who spent £20,000 building his own sports bar in his back garden. I would urge you to look this up online. It's absolutely amazing. He is a builder, so he's done it very well. He's got a fully stocked bar. He's even got a pub garden where you can sit outside with, the umbrellas and everything. He did it in memory of a friend who had died. They're both massive Wolverhampton Wanderers football fans. So it's covered in Wolves memorabilia. And he says even sweeter than the success of winning the best man cave was the fact that the guy who came second is a massive West Brom fan, which is Wolves' ultimate sort of rival. And this builder who won did the plastering at the West Brom's house. And he said, I put a few bits of Wolves memorabilia in the walls so that when he has to tear it down, there's a sort of bittersweet ending to it all.
Sounds absolutely lovely. Now, what would I do with almost R500,000? Vicky Turner with this morning's Worldview.
EWN Business.
Don't you hate Google? So I'm trying to find this boozer.
Yeah.
And I'm looking for the best, right? The best pound shed in Britain. And what do I get?
What did you get?
Cheap sheds. Small and large garden sheds. Cheap sheds, right? Oh, my word.
All the options.
Took the fun out of the whole thing. All right, Mateo Kharipe, let's talk business news. Good morning.
Company news. We're going to start with Goldfields enjoying the record high gold prices at the moment. The precious metal miner saying headline earnings per share, which is a profit measure in South Africa, were up $1 billion. That's 17 billion rand. Goldfield says it was able to triple its half-year profit as the spot price of gold improved and production at the company also went up. Gold has hit record levels, rising by 40% during the reporting period, while production at Goldfields has also improved, hitting 1.1 million tons. Production benefited from operational improvements at the South Deep mine in South Africa, the Salares Norte mine in Chile, and the deep mine operations in Peru and Australia.
It was the Salares Norte. You got that right. And then, I know what that feels like. All right, what else?
Well, this week's local economic calendar looking at July's producer price index that's likely to point to higher food prices. The private sector credit extension numbers, as well as the trade balance, are expected to go out this week. That's the economic snapshot. And then in the US Fed, Jerome Powell, the Fed chair there, looking to shift the monetary policy in the US as jobs numbers suffer. So he's likely to cut rates as well in September.
Was the rand?
Rand at this hour now at 17 Rand 46 against the US dollar, at 20 Rand 45 cents against the euro, and at 23 Rand 58 cents against the British pound. Price of gold at $3,367 an ounce, or platinum is at $1,358. Brent crude at $67.87 a barrel. That's your business this morning. Stephen Grotes with more this afternoon.
Right, coming up, your chance to win tickets to the Festival of Motoring. WhatsApp us a voice note to 072 702 1702 telling us your favorite car feature, the ride it's from, and why gets your heart racing. And you could be getting a call back. Straight to the news desk now. We go to Sfiso Zulu. Let's start with the former Dirco minister, Naledi Pandor. What is she saying?
Bongani, she says that the ANC has lost its glory and South Africans now look at the former liberation movement with disdain. Pandor says the party now requires leaders who are selfless and only serve the people. She made the comments yesterday while delivering a lecture in the centenary celebration of former ANC Women's League President Gertrude Schoppe, who died earlier this year. But Pandor says she hopes that the ANC can still renew itself by appointing the right leaders. EFF leader Julius Malema has cautioned African leaders against bowing to US President Donald Trump in what he views as an attack on the sovereignty of African states. Malema addressed delegates at the Nigerian Bar Association annual conference in Enugu yesterday. The Nigerian Bar Association is the largest professional body of lawyers in Africa, representing more than 120,000 members across Nigeria and abroad. Its annual general conference is the flagship gathering of legal practitioners, policy makers, judges, academics, and international guests. Malema says Trump has no business influencing Africa's policy position amid continued criticism of Washington's attempts to use trade tariffs to interfere in South Africa's race laws and foreign policy. Police are being urged to intensify their efforts in arresting all suspects linked to the murder of Eastern Cape prosecutor Tracy Brown. Brown was shot outside her home last month in Gqeberha in full view of her child and partner. One person suspected to be part of the group of gunmen was arrested on Friday, and the South African Union Council of Independent Churches says more needs to be done to bring to book others responsible for Brown's murder. And Israeli strikes in Yemen's capital Sana'a have killed at least 6 people. AFP images showed a large fireball lighting up the skies over the rebel-held capital, leaving behind thick black smoke. The Houthi-run Saba news agency says 86 people were wounded in the Israeli raid, with more than 20 in critical condition, citing the health ministry. The Israeli army says it hit a military compound where the presidential palace is located, along with 2 power stations and a fuel depot. Israel says the strikes were in response to repeated attacks by the Houthi armed group. Late Friday, the Houthis fired a missile that Israeli authorities said had most likely fragmented in mid-air. A fine day in store for Gauteng today. The temperatures are at lows of 3 and 12 degrees, peaking at highs between 29 and 31.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the R21 South between Olifantsfontein Road and Pomona Road. This is due to an accident while traveling along the M1 South. Another accident seen near Corlett Drive causing delays coming out of Grayston Drive.
The top story this hour, Dirco former minister Naledi Pandor says the ANC has lost its glory and South Africans now look at the former liberation movement with disdain.
Gauteng's greatest awards at 702 and Yoko. Let's celebrate excellence, one vote at a time. Go to primediaplus.com now to vote for the finalist that makes Gauteng feel like home.
Burnt out? Distracted? Done? Well, this is your wake-up call. The Mind Matters Summit hits South Africa, Cape Town. Top experts elite athletes, wellness icons. One day to reset your mental game. Your turning point starts here. It's happening at the Cape Town ICC on the 4th of September. Mind Matters Summit. Change your mind, change your life. Book now at mindmatters-summit.com in proud partnership with Prime Media Cares.
Hollywood Bet Aziz Shege. Be on the Game is back for the new soccer season. Up for grabs is a share of 4 million rand in prizes, including the Toyota Rumion, Corolla Cross, Hilux 2.4 GD6 DC, and a Starlet Cross. To qualify, bet 10 rand or more on any soccer fixture or fixtures for your chance to score big. Bet now. T's and C's apply. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counselling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp HELP to 076 675 0710.
The team's on a roll today. Let me focus on payroll. Duty calls in the kitchen. That's why I have a business insurer that is agile and on the ball all the time on all things. I chose My Way Business Insurance, getting 24/7 emergency service and saving on my premiums, plus my business assist to handle my admin.
Visit myway.co.za or dial 0860 64 64 64 and get a quote today. My Way is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's, C's and standard rates apply. My Way. Live your way.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Morning, Bongani Bingwa. On the question of the lunar eclipse, I'm not sure, but actually I'm sure the Earth is not. It's not the one that it's in between. It can be, because if the Earth was in between, then we were not going to have a lunar eclipse. Thank you.
Oh, goodness me. We had this debate. All right. So I think that is a question that comes from the earlier Whiz Quiz. The question was, which is between the moon. Read it, Amo. You
what
still
is
got it?
between the sun and the moon during a lunar eclipse?
Yeah. So what is between the sun and the moon during a lunar eclipse? And our answer was?
The Earth.
The Earth. And so we had to check this out, of course. A lunar eclipse occurs when the Earth passes between the sun and the moon, and it's the Earth's shadow on the moon that obscures the moon, and that results in a lunar eclipse. So we checked that. I also thought, hang on, what do you mean? What do you mean? And so that's the answer that we got, and I'm rechecking it now. And yeah, no, we were right. That's not quite what you think it is.
Morning, Bongani and the team. It's Veronica from Spraidview. With me, I don't think I can give anything up because I've been doing everything in moderation. I've been driving an affordable car. I eat from my groceries. I go out when I've got money. So I dress properly. I exercise, I don't go to the gym. I used to go to the gym, but I do my own exercises for quite a long time now. So it's in the family. So we don't do anything extreme. Everything we do is in moderation. So there's nothing really I can say I can give up on. Yeah, that's my life. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Mateo's question earlier was, what have you cut out of your budget because the times are a little tough? Many people have said gym. A number of people actually have mentioned the gym thing. I know people are careful about whether they subscribe to things like DSTV, for example. That's one that usually falls by the wayside. Even the streaming services can fall by the wayside. What have you cut out of your budget?
Wow, Bongani, Funolo spoke like a true governor. Hey, the lingo checked, the feel on the ground, the understanding of how the macros work checked. I think we've got a governor in the making, hey? Well done, Bunolo.
EWN Sport.
Wouldn't it be lovely, I don't know, 15, 20 years from now or something like that, if she were governor and she were to come back to the studio and we can say, there's that interview from Morning Live, right? When Buyiseni Ndlozi, now Dr. Ndlozi, was interviewed by Tracy Going, and he was this grade 11 learner, right? Little standard 9 pupil, and he's now become this important person on the political stage, but now also in broadcasting. And it was so cute that I think on his show, he had Tracy Going on, just to kind of reflect on that little moment. And I thought that was particularly special. Cindy Paluta, welcome back.
Thank you, Bongani. I know you miss me.
You're looking refreshed.
You haven't stopped crying all morning.
Bring back Anthony. No shame. We missed you, and we always, of course, enjoy having you in the studio with us. Let's talk about day one of the US Open.
Absolutely, because it's tennis's last Grand Slam of the year. I did see Djokovic go through to the next round, and after his match talking about, he was obviously asked the retirement question. But then talking about how he's reached a point in his life where he no longer wants to miss the big family occasions, and he no longer wants to miss the big family moments. And I think people who push hard in their late teens, early 20s, into their early 30s, look back and reflect and wonder, was it all worth it? Was it all worth it? Very hard to look back and go, hang on a second, I have all this great success and wealth and fortune that I wouldn't have had I not worked so hard. Was it worth it? So I don't know if he will retire anytime soon.
I don't think he's the type. I think as long as he's still able to play, because of his fitness levels and everything is put into being that person, I think he'll play for a long time. But I do think he gets to get the best of both worlds.
I think we probably will see him cutting back on the smaller tournaments, right? Playing less tennis. But anyway, he's through to the next round, as is Shelton and last year's runner-up Fritz. The 13th seed Medvedev is out. On the women's side, Sabalenka, Paulina, Navarro all through. The 14th seed Tosin is out. And of course, tomorrow morning, not before 1 a.m., Venus Williams, at the age of 45, will be playing in her first round match at the US Open. In the Premier League tonight, Newcastle host Liverpool. Arsenal tops the table ahead of Spurs at the moment. Yesterday, Everton beating Brighton 2-0. Palace and Nottingham Forest drew 1-1, and Man United remain winless in 2 games, finishing 1-1 with Fulham boss Ruben Amorim.
It was a tough match. I think when we scored the goal, we forget about maintaining the way we should play. We were just thinking about maintaining the results. We want to win so bad that we forget about maintaining the possession, try to push the opponent. We just gave a little bit the game to Fulham.
Springbok women opened their Rugby World Cup campaign with a 66 win over Brazil. Coach Swayze de Bruin.
It's for us to score 10 tries at a world tournament, and and stop them from scoring 8 tries. Brilliant defence. So all in all, with the scrummings and the lineouts was efficient. So all in all, very happy.
Springbok men's side's travel to New Zealand will be announced today with their first game next week. Bok prop Asanati Ntlabakanye is out after testing positive for prohibited non-performance enhancing substance. He doesn't travel. In the Currie Cup, the Cheetahs top the table ahead of the Boland Cavaliers, the Lions in third. Yesterday, Griquas beat the Bulls 42-21. In cricket, Proteas men leave Australia with an ODI series win and head to England now for a limited over series starting next week Tuesday. In golf, Tommy Fleetwood won the PGA Tour Championship, finishing on 18 under, 3 shots ahead of Cantlay and Henley. And in MotoGP, Marc Marquez took victory in Hungary, making it a 7th straight sprint race double. Marquez leads the championship by 175 points. Brad Binder finished 7th. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
Do you know what's hiding behind colourful packaging of unhealthy food? Big food companies target children with unhealthy packaged foods that hide high levels of sugar, salt and fat, which could lead to heart disease, diabetes and hypertension. But the truth is hidden from consumers. Front of package warning labels are a proven solution to help consumers make informed decisions. The government must act now. We have the right to know what's in our food. Demand front of package warning labels. Sign the petition on heala.org, HEALA.org, by 30 September.
Hi, I'm Dion Free. Winning requires audacity. That's why I joined African Bank and opened a 60-month fixed-term investment account. I'm scoring 12.8% interest at expiry on my investment. How cool is that? You too can join the bank that backs you to grow your money. Pop into a branch near you or visit africanbank.co.za. African Bank. Audacity to believe. African Bank is a licensed financial services and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
Ever driven 6 hours to get to a place that should have taken 1? Skip the detour with Sem Air, a proudly South African full-service airline, connecting you to 16 top destinations, whether it be for business or a break. Baggage included. Onboard snacks, always. Comfort and service, count on it. Because when your time matters, your airline should too. Book now at semair.co.za. Sem Air, more from your airline.
Now, what could your 50 cent do for you? Big winner alert. One lucky winner has just won 1.9 million rand from a 50 cent bet with Betway's Rising Riches Jackpot. The Rising Riches Jackpot drops on any slot, on any spin at any time, from 25,000 rands up to 2 million rands. Every spin increases the pot. Pick any slot game and get spinning. Will it be your lucky spin that wins? Get more with Betway.
Betway is licensed and regulated by the Western Cape Gambling and Racing Board. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. For gambling counseling, call SARGF on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp 076 675 0710.
EWN Traffic.
All right, 14 to 9. Let's catch up with the roads. Amo, wrap up today's morning traffic.
Well, a busy one, Bongani, indeed. If you're traveling in the Kempton Park area, we still have got those delays along the R21 South between Olifantsfontein Road and Pomona Road. This is due to an accident, and if you're heading towards Buccleuch interchange, do expect delays along the N3 North between Van Buren Road and the Buccleuch turnoff. This is due to another earlier accident that happened near Marlborough Drive, and there's also queuing traffic on the Markwan North between Boysons Road and Car Street, as well as on the same route, M1 North. This is between Harton Drive and Paula Drive due to an accident on the southerly direction of this road. Traveling in the city of Tshwane, some delays on the N1 South approaching the Flying Saucer interchange, and that's due to peak time delays. I'll have more updates for you at the top of the hour. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
You could do something first and still be doing it wrong. What hurts is sprinting but never making it to the finish line. Quit going in the wrong direction, because with Sani Sixt, you can rent here and globally. Other car rental companies only have a vision to try harder. We actually deliver. While they leave you feeling blue, our budget and vibe match yours. For a tailored service offering premium at every stage, book premium car rental excellence with Sani Sixt.
At the heart of global conversations shaping our future, Africa's voice is more important than ever. As proud lead sponsor of the B20, the Standard Bank Group is honored to showcase the continent's growth, partnerships, and potential on the world stage. Because driving Africa's growth isn't just our ambition, it's our purpose. Tune in every Monday from 3 p.m. for the Standard Bank B20 In Brief for key insights and updates around the B20. Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
Bongani, good morning, and good morning to your listeners. Great show as always. Bongani, I had to let go of my medical aid, and the worst thing is that I'm now in my 50s, early 50s, but I've had to let go of my medical aid. I couldn't afford it. I'm still trying to free up some money so I can get it back on. But the most worrying thing for me is the number of colleagues that go on retirement. Almost all of them go on retirement and just can't afford medical aid anymore. They start with it, then they have to let it go somewhere between a year and 2 into retirement. It's tough.
That is tough. That is tough. Hey, you've been paying this thing all your life, and just when you need it most, affordability becomes a challenge. And yeah, that's where he finds himself. Many people having to give up all kinds of things we once thought we could not do without, because the times are just what they are.
Coming up
on the Clement Manyatela Show
on 702.
He's not with us physically in the studio. Clement Manyatela broadcasting live from the OR Tambo International Airport. Clement, a very good morning to you. What are you doing at Otia?
Hi Bongani, how are you?
I'm fine. What are you doing at Otia?
So we are at the OR Tambo International Airport because AXA is going to be presenting its financial results for the 2024-2025. So we're here to check out what results have actually produced and what are their plan in trying to align, especially the company's strategy to align with global aviation trends. How do they plan to improve passenger experience? So all of that we will find out when they present their financial results. And in fact, at 10:30, we're going to bring in some executives from AXA to talk to us about what the results are saying. At 10 o'clock, though, we are going to speak to two CEOs of the SETAs that have been placed under administration by the Higher Education Minister, Manamela. There are questions already about the administrators.
Right, our connection there not
That
helping
he has
us. We
administration.
lost
Also
you there
pushing
for
it.
a second, and I think the signal is a little patchy, but I think you've got a sense of it. Clement Nwanyatala will be coming to you from the OR Tambo International Airport, the release of the airport's company South Africa results, and he'll be giving us all the details about that and what aviation, I suppose, in South Africa looks like going forward. The Clement Nwanyatala Show between 9 and 12.
Time to review my favorite employee, my F&B Gold business account. You give me thousands of potential customers by listing my business on NAV Marketplace and access to Guard Me, a bodyguard for cash drops, locking up. No other card does this. If you weren't a bank card, I'd give you a raise.
The F&B Gold business account. No other card works harder for your business because your safety is worth it. F&B, help changes everything. T's and C's apply. F&B, a division of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorized FSP and credit provider.
From the brilliant buzz of Joburg to the beautiful beaches of the Eastern Cape, Fly Safair has you covered. That's right, from 1st November, we'll be flying from Lanseria Airport to both East London and PE. Just in time for the holiday rush. Tickets are on sale now from only 770 Rand. So whether it's for work or play, plan your Eastern Cape escape from Lanseria or vice versa. Book now at flysafair.co.za. Fly Safair, for the love of fly. T's and C's apply.
Naked people are more interesting. They can make conversation with absolutely anyone at the office, even Jeff from IT. That's because naked people get car and home insurance online in seconds, which means less time wasted on insurance admin and more time listening to obscure crypto podcasts for their next encounter with Jeff. Go to naked.insure now, get a quote in 90 seconds, and get naked. People, Naked Financial Technology is an authorized FSP.
Buckle up. It's time to get those engines roaring and score an epic day out with the Festival of Motoring on 702.
Vroom, 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 vroom. The 8th Festival of Motoring roaring into action at the Kyalami Grand Prix Circuit. And it starts on the 29th of August to the 31st of August. 100 exhibitors, 22 top automotive brands on display. So everything from off-road challenges, self-handling tracks to supercar rides, and of course, Formula One style demonstration. There's the Adventure Zone. We've also got the Villa Car Racing Ultimate Car and Driver Challenge, rooftop terraces. You can take it all in. Michael Den, of course, is the managing director of Messe Frankfurt, South Africa, joining us to give us a breakdown on what you can expect. Michael, very good morning to you. Thank you for coming in firstly to studio. This is a bit of an honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Bongani. It's an honor for me to be here.
This is Africa's premier motoring festival, right? The Festival of Motoring. You've had a few under your belt. This year promises to be even bigger and better than before.
Yes, it is the biggest this year. So we're very, very proud about that. And it's going to be a lot of things on the track. We've maximized every corner of Kyalami Grand Prix circuit, and it's going to be an amazing event.
Are there any special experiences that people might look forward to?
So, those people who've been before, they know that the Festival of Motoring is all about experiencing cars, experiencing different cars, different models. Cars you've never sat in before. And of course, we have really, really maximized on that. You can, as a visitor, you can get into a car on the main track driven by professional drivers. You can go on the Take-A-Lot self-handling track where you can drive yourself, or you can go to the 4x4 adventure track where you're being driven by professional drivers. There's so many models to experience and so many things to see. It is going to be incredible.
One of the things that I think makes a festival like this, an event like this, a really great experience is the important partners that are part of it and that you've partnered up with. Who's on board this year?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, these partners, they play a crucial role. So our headline sponsor is again Westbank. Westbank has been a partner for a long time. We have a new partner on board for our premium hospitality, that's Santam. Then on the self-handling track, we have Take-A-Lot on board, and quite a few other partners, like we have Mall of Africa for the park and ride. We have Castrol, Master Drive, RMI, the RMI is on board as well. We have Brand SA and Grid Cars, Investchem. So quite a few partners on board to set the stage for the car manufacturers to perform and to show what they have.
What do people get with a general access ticket?
So the general access ticket gets you onto the track if you want. You can visit the car manufacturers and get into one of their cars, as I said, driven by pros. You can get on the self-handling track. You can get on the 4x4. We have a family fun zone outside with a Ferris wheel. We have then, of course, the exhibit displays, amazing food court with really a lot of variety over there. You can see the drifting on the skid pans and of course the motorsport displays as well on the track. We have a very, very full track schedule, which is a combination of the test drives as well as then the displays. And we have the supercars, the superbikes in between.
So really everything for anybody who's into a bit of speed and a bit of movement. Tell me about the Ultimate Car and Driver Challenge.
So the Ultimate Car and Driver Challenge is obviously one of those displays that really
it gets people's attention, right?
People's attention, yeah. You will hear it from miles away, and that's going to be one of the big highlights as well.
All right, 100 exhibitors.
Right, of course. There's apart from the OEMs, there are a lot of other car-related exhibitors and companies that display accessories and merchandise and so on. So there's going to be a lot to see, and once you're there, you can spend the entire day there. My advice would be to arrive early.
All right, so come all day so that you're there for the full day and you don't miss out on any key experience, because obviously you can't, it's not one of those you can pop in for an hour and think you've seen or have had the full experience. The more time you spend, the longer you are there, the more you are going to go and get out of, the more you're going to get out of the experience. We are also running a little competition to see if we can give away some tickets. I've got a pair of general access tickets to the Festival of Motoring, thanks to, of course, to the Festival of Motoring on 702. And we've got Rajen on the line. Rajen, very good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Bongani. How are you doing?
I'm very good. Thank you. I'm very good. So listen, I've got a couple of tickets. Firstly, I want to know from you, what's your favorite car feature?
The advanced driving assistance system, especially the reverse camera. Like I've driven another car recently that didn't have it, and I struggled. You get so accustomed to it, you get so used to it, and you don't have it. You actually wish you had it. You know what I mean?
Tell me about the thing about the advanced driving assistance system that impresses you the most.
I think it's the reverse camera and also the emergency braking as well. Because we get so caught up in our lives, sometimes even in our phones, not looking at the phone. But, these kind of things help us to, prevent accidents and those kind of things.
All right, Michael Den, do you think Rajan should get these tickets? Sounds like he'll have a good time there.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely, Rajan. Congratulations, you've won general access tickets to the Festival of Motoring. Thanks to the Festival of Motoring on 702. And I'm glad I didn't have to make that decision on my own. Michael Den, of course, here with us, the Managing Director at Messe Frankfurt, South Africa. This is the premier motoring festival on the continent. Get your tickets. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. The weekend of the 29th to the 31st of August at the Kyalami Grand Prix Circuit.
702 podcasts are on 702.co.za.
And that brings us to the end of this edition of 702 Breakfast. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Right now, it is 9 o'clock.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. The International Relations Department says there's a worrying trend of South African influencers who are being paid to advertise job offers that could be linked to human trafficking in other countries. A recent social media post has raised suspicion about potential bogus scholarships and job advertisements. A popular influencer with a major social media following is among those facing backlash for punting a jobs program in Russia amid concerns it may have links to human trafficking. The department's Clayson Munyela says so-called recruiters are taking advantage of South Africa's unemployment crisis.
We've had a case of one young South African woman that reached out to our embassy in Moscow, realizing that what they were promised wasn't true. The challenge, though, is that when these young people fall for these scams, they don't, one, check with us, two, they don't inform us. We only collide with the information when they discover that they're in trouble.
The SANDF has rubbished claims that Army Chief Rudzani Maphanya continues to defy direct orders from Defence Minister Angie Motshekga to reinstate a wrongfully dismissed colonel. This follows a City Press report that Maphanya refuses to reinstate Colonel Eugene Motati even after the military ombud ruled he was dismissed over untested sexual harassment allegations in 2019. The publication is reporting that Maphanya has drawn the line in the sand, adding no ministerial directive will sway him without a binding court order. SANDF spokesperson Prince Shabalala denies claims that Maphanya has defied the orders.
The insinuation that the chief of SANDF is defying or giving the middle finger to the minister is baseless and irresponsible. General Maphanya remains fully committed to the constitutional authority of the minister and is engaging the matter with the utmost respect and diligence.
Shabalala says the SANDF won't be drawn into discussing internal matters publicly, but says Maphanya is still consulting with Motshekga on the matter.
In line with good governance and military protocol, the chief of SANDF is currently consulting with the Minister of Defence and Military Veterans and the Ombudsman on the matter.
Maphanya's conduct has been under close scrutiny as he faces criticism for comments he made during an official visit to Iran, where he allegedly co-signed South Africa to stronger military ties with Tehran. The International Relations Department has distanced itself from Maphanya's comments. Higher Education Minister Butima Namela has directed 3 embattled SETAs to publish a 90-day stabilization plan in the wake of another scandal. Administrators were appointed to the Construction SETA, Services SETA and Local Government SETA last week, but the process has again been marred by claims of irregularities. The EFF has raised questions about the appointment of administrators, even though there are ongoing board appointments at the country's 22 SETAs. This is the second controversy since former Higher Education Minister Nobuhle Nkabane was booted from the office for mishandling SETA board appointments. Manamela has now called on the Public Service Administration to vet the newly appointed administrators. The minister's spokesperson, Matsepo Sidat.
Our priority is to stabilize governance in the SETAs, protect public funds, and strengthen confidence in the skills development system. By involving the Public Service Commission in this process, we are adding an extra layer of integrity to ensure the focus remains on delivering skills for South Africa's youth and workers. The minister trusts that these additional steps will address public concerns, reinforce oversight, and ensure that SETAs are able to deliver effectively on their critical mandate.
And Cape Town Mayor Jordan Hill-Lewis has called on national government to grant the city more powers to investigate crimes that will lead to more convictions. This follows an increase in gang-related murders this past week, including the death of a 3-month-old baby in Pontiavel on Friday. The infant was caught in the crossfire when two gunmen entered a house and opened fire on a woman carrying the baby in her arms. The Metro says the anti-gang unit is severely under-resourced in the Metro. Hill Lewis says the city has filed a proposal for municipal police to be granted powers to investigate crimes to improve convictions for gang, gun and drug-related offences.
This underscores that it's increasingly irrational to resist the City of Cape Town's calls to devolve additional policing powers to the city so that we can help SAPS and ensure more convictions in Cape Town.
Gold is trading at $3,364.32 an ounce. The rand is at 17.46 to the dollar, 23.59 to the pound, 20.43 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $67.79 a barrel.
Is on the M1 South between Grayson Drive and Hudson Drive. There's also queuing traffic in the northerly direction of this route due to a major accident seen right near Glenhove Road. Delays coming out of Hudson Drive.
A fine day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 29 and 31 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. The International Relations Department says there's a worrying trend of South African influencers who are being paid to advertise job offers that could be linked to human trafficking in other countries.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
Gauteng's greatest awards with 702 and Yoko. Let's celebrate excellence, one vote at a time. Go to primediaplus.com now to vote for the finalist that makes Gauteng feel like home.
You're with Clement Manyathela
On 702.
Let's walk the talk. Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856.
92.7 and 106 FM.
Very good morning to you. I'm Jane Dutton. I'm standing in for Clement Manyathela just for the moment. It's good to be with you. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. So many moving parts. The best and the fast and the most effective moving part certainly was the Springboks. It wasn't a particularly pretty game, but at least we won. And they didn't put us through that emotional trauma that they put us through the weekend before. I'm just wondering if you watched the game and what you thought about it. I've been thinking quite a bit about what's been going down in the tourism sector. As we know, in South Africa, it is one of the most important sectors. It brings in a lot of money. It's been growing. It's a country that people spend a lot of money on, and it is something that we have been able to maintain control of. But as you know, the tourism minister, Patricia de Lille, dissolved the tourism board, and it's a decision that sparked fierce debate over governance, accountability and power struggles behind the scenes. So while the action is legally grounded, it sparked debate over whether it was governance necessity or political interference. We want to know if it was a clean-up operation. I mean, a former board member said that the board dissolved after he flagged an irregularly chosen CEO. So who is wrong here? What sort of impact do you think it'll have on this very important sector of ours? I also want to know about your thoughts on this recent poll. The Democratic Alliance has certainly been pulling ahead in the latest local election results, polling results, gaining ground in key municipalities, pulling ahead of the other parties. What do you make of that news? Is this good for us? Is it something that you would consider if you'd never voted for the DA before? What do you think is behind that? I mean, obviously the DA is still facing major challenges, winning support in areas long dominated by the ANC, but with all of those other relatively new players, what do you think this means? What do you think it means for us going ahead? And also, there was an interesting report out about female buyers buying property. There are an increasing number of them. Does that show confidence? The fact that they are maybe catching up with their men in the boardrooms, they're getting the better pay that they well deserve. I'd love to hear from you. Give us a call. The phone lines are open 011 883 0702. You can WhatsApp me 072 702 1702.
Clement Maniatella, streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856,
92.7
and 106 FM.
So as we know, the Minister, Patricia de Lille, made the decision to dissolve the Tourism Board. And it'll be interesting to find out more about it. It just shows you, it's so typical of our politics, right? Nothing is dead straight. Nothing is just black or white. It always has these grey bits, always with allegations of something dodgy happening in that board, in that sector. So it'll be good to get your thoughts on what you think is really happening here. I know that Outer is concerned about what it has witnessed, and also the tourism sector. The Tourism Business Council of South Africa have voiced disappointment, stating that the board was composed of experienced, credible members who were beginning to bring much-needed stability to South Africa's tourism. I mean, we can't mess with sectors like this. It is worth hundreds of millions, and it employs thousands, tens of thousands of people. So what's going to happen in the meantime? There's going to be a temporary board taking decisions. Outer is saying that, and Outer is the organization undoing tax abuse. They've labeled this move as politically motivated, calling it a, quote, direct assault on governance and accountability. They argue the board was exercising its oversight responsibilities, particularly regarding disciplinary action against the suspended CEO, and that de Lille's decision undermined that accountability. Outer has also criticized the minister for dissolving governance structures instead of supporting them, especially as the board lacked a chairperson, largely due to internal instability. What is it that we are doing wrong in this country? As you ponder that, I'm going to hand you over to my colleague, Clement Maniatella. Clement, good morning.
Good morning, Jane. Thank you so much for that. It's 13 o'clock, as you've heard from Jane. In fact, Dumelang, Sanbonani, good morning. Let me start there because we didn't start the show like that. In fact, let's do it the way we normally do it, right? So, Dumelang, welcome to the Clement Maniatella Show. It's so great to have you with us here on 702. As we start this brand new week, I hope your day is going well so far, and I wish you all the best with your week this coming week, the next 5 days. So, as you are aware now, this morning, and that's the reason why Jane had come in there, we're still trying to sort out our technical issues here, but we're coming to you live from Airport Company South Africa offices. We're at OR Tambo International Airport because AXA is actually presenting its 2024-2025 financial results this morning. This event actually marks a significant milestone in the company's journey as it transitions from recovery to this new chapter of growth, of resilience, and long-term sustainability. So that announcement today, this morning, more about AXA's performance for the fiscal year ending the 31st of March 2025. It will highlight some key achievements, some strategic successes and challenges during the year under review. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what the report says about the context of the company's strategy to innovate and grow, and how it really aligns with global aviation trends and the plans to improve passenger experience, because that's what matters most, you as a passenger. There have been some issues with air traffic control, some jet fuel issues. I'm hoping I can ask some executives here questions about that too. So that's why we're here at OR Tambo International Airport. Jane was talking earlier about some sporting action that happened over the weekend. Did you watch any sports this weekend? Congratulations to Pirates. We have to start there, of course. We are officially in the MTN 8 final. We played Sundowns in Pretoria this past weekend, and we beat them 4-1 on a dramatic penalty shootout. I mean, now we head to the finals. I think this is fourth in a row, if I'm not mistaken, that Pirates goes to the finals. And I think we're going to defend the MTN 8 when we face off with Stellenbosch. What do you think? Did you watch the game? 011-883-0702. That's the number to dial. The WhatsApp line is 072-702-1702. I actually also enjoyed rugby on Saturday. The Bokke were playing Australia in Cape Town after that embarrassing defeat at Ellis Park against these Wallabies. And yes, we won, but it was such a stressful game. You know, some say it was an unconvincing win, but there were so many mistakes that were made by the players, and I'm interested in your assessment of that game on Saturday. You can give us a call or send us a WhatsApp voice note. The Higher Education Minister, Butima Namela, has now roped in the Public Service Commission to investigate
Well, as he said, it's live. This is what happens. We'll go back to him as soon as we can. And he was talking about why he is where he is. And I mean, the airports have been doing pretty well. Quite a dramatic increase in their performance and in their numbers. So what is it that's working? That's finally working. We were just talking about the tourism board, which hasn't been working. So why is this working? What sort of lessons can be learnt? Khanya from Khali says, well done to women who buy property and freeing themselves from financial abuse by us men. I mean, it really is very important, isn't it, when women get involved in spending the money and in the financial sector, because as we know, if you've got educated women in the economy, then it lifts up the entire country. Women in the economy, women who are voting, women who are playing an active role in educating any country pulls up the country. So that could be a possible sign of some sort of movement there. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Give us a call. I'd love to find out if you are a woman who has recently bought a property and what's given you the confidence to do that. We've got a voice note from Mkonto about the recent polling. Not yet about the recent polling. I was just talking about how polls have suggested that the DA is going to do well, going to do a lot better in the local elections. Is there anything that you've seen that underpins that? Have you been involved in this sort of poll? And what is it? What are the sort of questions that they are asking you? What is it that you want to see when it comes to local elections? I mean, we know that service delivery and all of that, I mean, everybody is hampered by that sort of thing. You know, what do we do? What are the conversations that need to be had in order to make that happen? Give us a call. The number's 011-883-0702 and the WhatsApp number is 072-702-1702.
Africa Milani.
Weekday mornings,
4 to 6.
How would you advise President Ramaphosa then? How does he navigate this rather delicate sort of terrain that he's finding himself in, particularly given the fact that there will most likely be a bilateral between Zelensky and Putin and ultimately a trilateral that will involve Donald Trump as well?
For President Ramaphosa, presenting a cautious but present and showcasing what South Africa can do to assist, that I think for me is an important role that can be played.
Gustavo Di Callio.
Africa Milani.
4 to 6 on 702.
Outsurance is simply the best at beating their best. Outsurance scored 9.99 on the Hello Peter Trust Index, a near 5-star rating on Google reviews, and have outperformed their personal best on the number of complaints per 1,000 claims referred to the Ombudsman. Switch to the insurer that delivers on price, service and trust. Call 08 600 60 000 or visit outsurance.co.za today. You always get something out. Licensed insurer and FSP. T's, C's and information online.
Hey besties, welcome to my kitchen tour, or should I say my new walk-in wardrobe. Over here we have the pantry, now home to my jeans and shirts, all color-coded. Oh, and the air fryer, literally the perfect place for my makeup brushes. And who would have thought, the oven is the place to store my handbags.
Who needs a kitchen? Simply spend 200 Rand or more and you could win Simply Asia for a year. T's and C's apply. Simply Asia, connecting the Thaiway.
Psst. Hey, no longer feeling like the man you used to be? The man who introduces himself and people say, I know. The fact is, 95% of men with low testosterone go untreated. Vitalamin High Performance Supplements for men helps recharge energy, regain lean muscle, and reload performance. Available at all good pharmacies and vitalamin.co.za. Vitalamin. Don't get older, get better.
To walk the talk is to turn words into meaningful actions. And it's what we at 702 are committed to doing every day. We're also committed to following the rules set out by the Broadcasting Complaints Commission's Code of Conduct. To give you balanced programming, fair comment, and accurate news. But if we stumble along the way and you feel we're not living up to the code, let us know on comment@702.co.za. And if after that you're still not happy, you can direct your complaint in writing to the Broadcasting Complaints Commission, PO Box 412365, Craig Hall 2024. For more, visit bccsa.co.za.
The 12th edition of the DSTV Delicious International Food and Music Festival, powered by Lotto Star, is here. Experience unbeatable vibes this Heritage Weekend at the Kyalami Grand Prix Circuit on the 20th and 21st of September. On Saturday the 20th, catch Don Toliver, Cuesta, Nkaba Zezwe and more. Then on Sunday the 21st, don't miss the iconic Lauryn Hill on her 25th anniversary tour with special guests Wycliffe Jean, YG Mali and Zion Mali with Lyra, Mandisi Jantis and Zoe Modicha also performing on the Sunday. Tickets at Ticketmaster. The DSTV Delicious International Food and Music Festival, powered by Lotto Star and proudly supported by 702.
Your voice.
Your station.
Your open line.
Walk the talk with Clement Maniatela
on 702.
I'm Jane Dutton in for Clement while he's ironing out a few technical issues. As I said, that's always the joy of live, right? You never really know what's going to happen, but hopefully we'll get him back. He is going to be talking about the airport companies' results and also to the CEO at 10 o'clock who has been shocked by the appointment of administrators for setters. That's Malusi Sheza, the Data Board CEO. Allegedly, a lot of the administrators have been not playing ball, have been accused of colluding with the wrong players, of corruption. Again, we're seeing it time and time again. And we've got a couple of voice notes. Let's listen to what they have to say.
Good morning, Clement. This is Melusi. Up the bugs. We've got a new problem in the country. It's called the Sibele-Bele. Sibele-Bele-Bele-Bele-Bele. Up the bugs. We are winning the MTN 8 for the 4th time in a row. We can't wait for 13th of September. Our Pume Wonga Mapagania, Siobugi Pagania, Ngomtlaga 13 September to lift our 4th MTN 8 Cup. Thank you. Have a good day.
Good morning, Jade. I don't buy that narrative, Jade, of DA being the leader in the municipality, but it is being pushed by the narrative and the failure of the ANC that has been given them an ammunition to do so, because ANC in local government, they failed dismally. So no wonder this kind of concept that DA in local government, they are regarded as a holy cow in this case. Thank you so much.
So a bit of a football news and celebrations there, and a bit of chat about these polls about local elections. And they spoke to a range of people from what I know and from how polling is conducted. And the message is that DA is pulling ahead. We know that ANC is suffering in many parts of the country. Clearly, voters have had enough about lack of governance that they are seeing and all the panoply of problems that is linked to the ANC party. And you just wonder what it is that the party can do to bring themselves up. And I was actually thinking in the car this morning about the corruption in this country. And the problem is when you have people who are accused, who've been exposed in the Zondo Commission, and yet they managed to keep their jobs. I was also reading about Malusi Gigaba today. I mean, he seems to have redefined himself. He's risen like the phoenix, and